Hello to all you amazing trailblazers out there. I'm Kristen Kramer with Bold Moves Boss, and this is Makin Bold Moves Monday, where we declare the one bold move that you can make, that I can make this week that's going to advance my business. And what do I mean by advance my business? Well, it could mean a lot of things, but for most of us, it means what can I do this week that's going to help me boost my revenue, bring in more money, close more deals, essentially create a thriving, profitable business. So that's really the question. What is the one bold move you will commit to doing this week that's going to help advance your business this week? And the theory is that if every week we are doing one thing that is advancing our business, then we have a lot of things that add up and eventually bring us to the ultimate destination that we're headed towards, that goal that we want to achieve. So I know a lot of folks that I talk to really get stuck on the, I want to say technology, but it's more than that. It's these complex drip campaigns or click funnels or sales funnels. And I get it because I fall into this as well. Everywhere you look around you tells you that you have to have all of these things, right? That if you're going to compete and people are going to see your business, that you have to have lead magnets with a landing page with, detailed email sequences after them and just a very complicated automation, essentially, that's running on the back end of any lead magnet that you put out. Now, part of that's true, sort of, because it makes your life a little easier than sending out individual emails. That's true. But is it really the lead magnet and the automation that's bringing in business? Sure, it's having people, it's like putting up a sign and people go, oh, hey, what is that? I'm interested in that. That sounds like something I need. But really, what's one thing that you can do to bring business in? I actually think there's two actions, but we only want to focus on one, because if we just pick one thing and do it very well this week, we're going to get results. Versus if we pick 10 things and do some of them kind of good, sort of okay, and then a bunch of them half-assed, we're not really making progress. We're not really getting traction and creating momentum around that traction if we just kind of scatter our energy everywhere. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of marketing experts will tell you to pick a niche, pick one thing that you're going to sell or one offer or service that you're going to do to one industry. And the reason is that it gives you just a more targeted, focused effort versus having your energy sort of, scattered about like confetti. So, and that's another conversation, the niche theory and everything like that. But what I would suggest to you is one thing that you can do this week is ensure that you are focused on engaging with as many people as you possibly can. Because there's two activities that put money in our bank account as business owners. One is nurturing the relationships with the clients that we have, or the customers that we have, or nurturing the relationships with the strategic partners that we have. Okay. The second thing is having more conversations to create and foster new relationships with people that can potentially work with us or, hire us for something in the future, or become strategic partners or refer business to us, right? But whether it's with your current client base or people that you aren't yet working with, prospects, leads, the fundamental activity that we're talking about here is engaging in conversations. Now, you might go one further and say strategic conversations, because if you talk to a whole bunch of people that aren't the right people, then maybe you don't get quite the same impact and results that you would if you were strategic in who you were speaking with or engaging with. So today, this week, I want to encourage you to really start having conversations. So either start having meaningful conversations with the customers and clients that you're doing business with, because they already think you're great, right? And it's easier to just continue to build on what you're already doing for them because they already think you're great, versus going and finding a whole bunch of people who don't know anything about you and trying to convince them that you're great and amazing to work with. That's the tougher sell or conversation, if you will. So, but either way, no matter how we cut it, what we're really talking about is building relationships. And this isn't just entering into a conversation with people and saying, who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? What problem do you solve? And how much do you charge? Those aren't really meaningful conversations. This is having conversations and opening a two-way dialogue with people to really get to know them and understand where they're coming from. Sometimes you have a solution that you can propose. Sometimes you have a resource that you can provide to them that will help them. Sometimes just having somebody that gets where you're coming from and what you're experiencing, one entrepreneur to another, is all people need. And not every single one of these conversations is going to put dollars in the bank account, but building relationships ultimately is what creates revenue in your business. It's the beginning of it. So, sticking to our theme of Making Bold Moves Monday, the one thing that you can do, the one bold move you can take this week is making sure that you have two-way dialogues with the right people to start building relationships or deepen the relationship that you have with people. If you do this and you do it from a perspective of genuine curiosity and just wanting to connect with people and help them or be a resource to them, money aside, the money will follow. The money will follow. And yes, having the lead magnet and the landing page and the automations, those are really nice things to have, but you don't have to have them. They're not must-haves. You can still have conversations with people without all of those things. You could even, if you're in the launch and build phase of your business, if you're in that unicorn phase of your business life cycle, and you're on a tight budget, so investing in a bunch of different platforms to make all of these things work automatically may or may not be in your budget. The fact is, it doesn't really cost you anything to have conversations with people. And if you're in that launch and build phase of your business, chances are you don't have a lot of client demands right now. So you have the time to have these conversations. And if you are in the growth and scale phase of your business, that dragon phase, or even the phoenix phase of reinventing and relaunching your business, you can make time to have strategic two-way dialogues with current customers or potential customers or stakeholders or strategic partners in your business, and really start focusing on building the relationship versus focusing on the dollars. And when you do that, when you start investing in building the relationship, again, the dollars will follow. The dollars will follow. And a lot of you are in, sort of like I am, in business to business services. It's coaching, it's consulting, it's, being a project manager or a business manager or a virtual assistant or a video editor or a social media manager. We're B2B and providing a service to other businesses. And, that's how we're going to build our business, is through these relationships. So, food for thought. That's my challenge to you this week. Unless you have one, if you already have a bold move picked out, run with it. But if you're sitting here and you're like, I have no idea what one thing I could pick that's going to advance my business, or what you thought was, I need to get my landing page done. I'm going to argue that getting your landing page done, it's a nice to have, and it can be helpful because you have something to point people to. You're giving them something for free that they can access directly. You can always email that out. And in fact, maybe if you do the one-on-one follow-up, it's giving you an opportunity to get in front of them again. So to continue that conversation. And sometimes automating those systems doesn't allow us to necessarily continue the conversation that we were having. It just sort of keeps you on their radar. But if you had to grab whatever it is, the attachment or a link to the attachment, and send an email to them, then you can really customize and personalize that response to them. Because especially if it's coming out of a conversation with them, because you can then refer back to something that you discussed on your call, or some common ground that you found, or synergies that you discovered between your businesses. And that is more impactful than an automated email. And look, sometimes it's just not realistic, and I'm all for automation. But sometimes like hands-on humanity, human beings being human, sometimes that goes a lot further for you than just having an automated system that's churning stuff out. So if what you thought when I asked you that question was, I need to get my landing page done, I would challenge you to think about that differently and focus on, who can I talk to this week? Who maybe did I talk to a few months ago that I could, engage with again and restart that conversation? Or who have I talked to recently? Can I just check in and kind of see how things are going with them? What happened with XYZ that they told me about? What happened with that? Maybe you've been, you had the conversation, then you start, connecting with them on social, and you've noticed on LinkedIn that they're working on a new program, or they've been talking about something specific lately, and you can reach out and just touch base with them to ask about that, to find out more. And again, I think when we come from a place of authentic curiosity, then we're truly in a place to build genuine, authentic connections with people and build relationships. So if you do nothing else this week, have conversations with people, that are your customers and clients, people that you've had synergy with in the past, people that you've identified that could potentially be a customer for you. But whatever it is, and I think being strategic about it is a good idea, try to see how many people can you have authentic conversations with. I'm not talking about a sales call, I'm talking about relationship building. Who can you build relationships with this week where either through having that relationship, the two of you can support each other in your businesses, or they can refer to you, maybe they're doing business with you, maybe there's some kind of joint venture that the two of you can do, whatever the case may be. But how many conversations can you have this week? And focus on being curious and delivering impact, whether there's an exchange of money or not, and see how that goes. Because I think you'll find that you will start to get traction. And if you continue to nurture those relationships, you will build momentum on that traction and be able to maintain that momentum. And that's when the dollars start coming back to you. B2B services, the pipeline is just longer. It's not like you're selling a widget or selling tacos from a food truck. People have to be able to get to know, like, and trust you. And what's the best way for them to know, like, and trust you? It's going to be in having a conversation with you where there's a two-way dialogue, and they can get to know, like, and trust you that way. You know, it's kind of old school, but there's value in it. So let me know what you think. And if you have something else that you're trying, that you're declaring as your one bold move this week, I want to know what it is. I want to know what your one bold move is, because if we share it with others or we write it down and it's not just something that we're holding in our head, there's a certain level of accountability that comes with that helps us follow through. If it's just something we're kind of talking about to ourselves, we're a lot less likely to follow through than if we make a commitment to someone else, right? It's that whole thing when you start a new workout program and they say, get a workout buddy, because if they're standing at the gym waiting for you to show up, you're more likely to show up than if nobody's waiting for you and you're just like, nah, I don't feel like going today. Same premise. All right. Either declare your bold move, use the bold move I've suggested, or really give us some thought and think about the one thing you can do in your business that's going to advance you towards having a thriving, profitable business. And share it with us. Let me know what it is. Until next time, get out there, do what sets your soul on fire, keep blazing those trails, and be amazing, because I know you're already amazing. All right. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for joining me today. And don't forget to declare the one bold move you're going to commit to this week. All right. Talk to you soon.